What's up everybody, Justin Reed here. I'm gonna do something a little different today. I actually have a tip for you guys to hook up on more fish. It's a real simple tip, real simple change, and it definitely will make a difference on your hookup ratio. Also, since I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I change the hooks and split rings on my lures. Just a few people have been asking about it, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a video. So check it out. When purchasing a new lure, a lot of them come with really cheap stock hooks and stock split rings. I've had them straighten out. I had the hook straighten out on ladyfish. I've had ladyfish straighten out the split rings, believe it or not. Just, you know, flipping them up. They thrash. It'll straighten it out, and you'll lose your hook and split ring and the ladyfish. Now that's the last thing you want to happen when you're hooked up into a nice redfish or nice trout. You don't want to lose a fish because your hook straightened out or your split ring, you know, failed. So I highly recommend upgrading your split rings and your hooks. I get the Spro. I recommend them. They're the only ones I've used, but they haven't failed me, so I just keep buying them. They don't rust, and try to get the same size as your lure. You know, take your lure you're gonna buy or already own and just bring it to the tackle shop and line up the split ring to what's in the bag and just try to get the same size. It'll work better for the action, and that's how the manufacturer designed it. So I probably overthinking it, but I use the same size. Same with the hooks. But yeah, when I do that, I don't waste time with my split ring tool trying to take the hook off and then take the split ring off. I just get some dikes and I cut it. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to save it. To me, it's garbage. So why waste time trying to, you know, hold on to it? Just a couple cuts, falls off, and I just do it to all of them. All right, we got our blank lure. We got our split rings and hooks. Let's go ahead and put them on. The front one's more of a preference thing. For me, if it comes with a split ring, I put a split ring back on it. If it doesn't come with a split ring, I don't put one on it. I just use a loop knot. To put them on, get your split ring tool, open up the split ring, and take your lure and just feed it through. And then instead of using my fingers, I'll actually use the tool to turn it through there. Works a little better for me. Get a better grip on it. You can use pliers to do the same thing, just depending on what kind of split ring tool. This split ring tool is a little heavier duty than, you know, really what I need, but it's the one I bought, not knowing it. Smaller one would probably work better for these small split rings, but it opens them up, so I just deal with it. Yeah, open it up, feed it through, same thing, and then just turn it through. So the simple tip to get more hookups is just a simple little change to your lure. When the hooks are at rest, they're going to want to sit a certain way. And if they're sitting this way, one side of the hook, or one side of the lure rather, has 2 hook points. And then the opposite side has 4 hook points. So if your fish swipes it from, you know, say this side, he's only got 2 hooks that can get him. And if he swipes from the opposite side, there's 4. So essentially one side of your lure is more effective than the other. And it's really easy to change it. Just take off the back hook and then put it back on in the opposite direction. And now both sides of your hooks has 3 points. So no matter which side the fish swipes it on, you have an equal number of hooks. So you have a better chance of, you know, hooking up on the fish because now you got rid of the weaker side of your lure. I did notice, you know, I lost less fish. It's not a significant number, but it is a change. So just a little tip when you're buying lures, if you don't want to replace the hooks, just, you know, check it out when you get it. Change one of your hooks around. I recommend putting new hooks and new split rings on almost all of the lures you buy for saltwater fishing. Now that you have your split rings on, it's time to put your hooks on. And how you put your first hook on is going to depend on what style of hook you're using. With these hooks that have the eyelet perpendicular to the first point here, it doesn't matter which direction you put it on because it's gonna turn and nest the same either way. But if you're using one of these owner style hooks where the eyelet is in line with that first hook, you need to put it on a certain way. So the way I put it on my lure is you want that front hook point facing forward, so when it's resting. So that way when it's swimming, these hooks want to nest up into your lure real nice and just more natural, versus the opposite. That hook point's going to want to hit it instead. After you open your split ring, you just want to put that hook on where this gap here is facing back, and then the inline point is facing forward. And that way when you have the hook on, it nests correctly. Like I said, with the other style hooks where that first point is perpendicular, it doesn't matter. It'll nest the same either way. Open that up, and however you put your back hook on, you want it to be opposite of how you put the other hook on. And that way you get equal number of hook points on each side of your lure, like I showed you in that tip. So just make sure you put it on opposite of how you put on the first one, and you'll be all set. And there it is, upgraded lure with new split rings, new hooks, and same number of hook points on each side. It's not only is it going to have better hookup ratio, it's going to hold on to fish better because you're not going to have any failures with split rings and hooks bending. So it's ready to go. It's going to slay them. If you're just going to swap out your hooks, I recommend using these owner treble hooks. I get the 2X. They're a little more expensive than, say, your VMCs or a couple other brands, but these hooks stay sharper a lot longer, and to me that's worth it. I obsess over a sharp hook, so when they're just slightly dull, I change them. But these last 2 to 3 times longer easily. So to me, in the long run, they're about the same price. And I'll show you how I put them on real quick. Take your split ring tool, open it up, go ahead and slide your hook up that you're taking off, and I actually go ahead and put on the hook I'm replacing it with. It saves a little time. You don't have to do it twice. You just put that new hook in there, and then when you rotate it through, the old hook will fall off and the new hook will be on. It's just a little tip picked up, and got that one on. Do the same thing for the back. Open up that split ring with your split ring tool, slide up the old hook, get your new hook, go ahead and put it in there, and then just run it through, and the old hook will fall off and the new hook will be on. There you go. That one's ready to go. When doing catch and release fishing, it's recommended to use these inline hooks. It's better for the fish. It doesn't damage their mouths as much. You're less likely to foul hook their body and tear it up. So definitely, if you're going to do some catch and release, use these inline hooks. The way you put them on is you want the front hook pointing forward and the back hook pointing backwards. And the reason that is because when this bait swims, these hooks are going to want to do this. So you don't want the hook point tucked up into the body here. And with the back hook, the reason you want it facing that direction is because when it stops, when this hook comes back, it won't dig into the lure. If it was, you don't want it coming to a stop and then getting up here, because then it's useless. So it's better to have it this way, so when you're walking the dog or whatever, it's just doing that and staying out. Highly recommend these inline hooks if you're going to do some catch and release. Thanks for watching. I hope that tip helps you guys out, and I definitely recommend upgrading your hooks and your split rings. I've lost enough fish to know it makes a difference. I just do it. I don't even think about it now. I buy a new lure, I cut the split rings off, I put new split rings on, add those new hooks, and I don't have to worry about losing fish because of just things failing. So give it a try. Try the tip out. Let me know if you hook up on more fish. Also, if you land more fish, upgrading stuff. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Trying to grow the channel up. Comment below. I enjoy talking to everybody. And thanks again for watching. Tight lines and take care.